Okay, hello YouTubers. Back to this mini bike project that I'm working on here. Well, I got a couple of new items that I'm going to put on there. I got the motor for it, and I got a torque converter for it. The motor I got is this 212cc Predator motor. Nowhere on the box are you going to find the word Hemi on here, but they say that this number here, 60363, is the number of the Hemi motor. That's how you tell. That's it. I also got this torque converter that I got from I think it was a Walmart website. Here, I'll show it to you real quick. It comes with a 12-tooth sprocket and a 10-tooth sprocket. That's one sprocket there. The 10-tooth sprocket came in the bag, but I put it on here because I have a it's for the same chain that's on my ColemanCT200U. Some of the prep work I did was I put this torque converter on, and I drew the line here onto this heat shield. There's a heat shield there. And then I took that heat shield off by removing these three bolts. There's 3 bolts there. And I put it on my vise, and I cut off that little piece so that my cover can fit on there. You'll see all that coming up. This is actually after I put it all on, and I just got to tighten down everything. This comes already put together on your torque converter. You crank that down. I mean, not crank it, but you tighten that down. And also this, you have to, it'll come together, fasten together with these in the order in which it goes on here. So that helps out a great deal. And also this little corner right here, I just chopped off that little corner so that the torque converter can go all the way down and this not interfere with the setting of that torque converter on there, right? Okay, now remember, if you can't screw these on by hand, then you're using the wrong bolts on here, and you're stripping your threads. If you're cranking that baby on there, you know, oh, it's just a snug fit. You're not, you don't have the right bolts on there. Okay, this is why I cut that little piece off of that heat shield that I had there. All right, well, let me get these out of there. Well, you know what those are now. Take a picture of that. Those are the bolts that you'll need. Take a picture of it. Okay. When you put this cover on, it'll hit your heat shield right there, and it won't let you get that all the way on there. On my other ColemanCT200U, I have the jack shaft set up on there, and on that jack shaft there's 2 little flanges that come up so that the cover that came with it just goes on just like this one. There's no screws involved. But when you get the torque converter, on the torque converter you have these screws that you have to put on the top of there. Oh, here's one, like this. So you got to screw that on top and on the bottom, those screws. I don't want to have to do that. I like the way that the jack shaft was set up. So this is similar to that, in that you can just lift it off and get it off and get to your torque converter. And that's what those are. All right. And that's why I cut that. That heat shield acts as a ventry at low speeds and cools off the top of this motor, the motor head there. So you want to keep that on. You'll get a better cooling with that pan on there with that heat shield. Again, because it catches the cool air and blows it up through here and cools that engine, cools that head. All right, I got these cranked down real nice, and now it's time to start putting this other half on. When you get your torque converter from them, this is going to already be on. You don't have to worry about taking that apart and putting that all together. The only part you'll have to put on is that front part there. It's going to come connected together with these in the order in which you put it on. You'll have a key on your motor when you get it. This key on your motor when you get it. You won't be needing that because every piece that you get is already keyed. See there? And you won't be able to get them on there when you put that, if you have that other key that comes on the motor on there. Now on this spacer here, you have a flat side here. It's flat all the way around. And on the other side you have it's kind of tapered a little bit on the inside there, around that inside edge. See that? That goes in here. It's dark. I don't have any, my lighting is a little dark, but I put the flat side towards me. This doesn't have a key. And then I put on the washer. Okay, like that. And then this part with the key. That key's going to go on there. Just got to find it. There it is. And then naturally, this one on next. The belt rides on that when it's at idle. Just at idle. Well, you just jump it up here on top of stuff. Give me my thing here. Get off of there. I don't care what I'm doing. She got to come up here and see what it is. And where I put it, she got to jump on it. All right. Then what's next? It's in the order that it came. This is that the 2-inch bolt. I think that was the 2-inch bolt. Is it 2 inches? Yeah. This is that 5/16 24 by 2 inch. That's what's going to tie all of this in. Next, you find your belt. There's a flat side, and then there's a tapered side. The tapered side faces you. Then I get my belt on. Belt is on. All right, that's the belt on. Then I put this on. And remember, this has a key as well. I don't know if I can get, there it is. See the key right next to the bolt there? And you put that baby on. I'm one-handing all of this, so you gotta bear with me. There it is, it's on the slot. Get your screw started. Get your screw started, like that. And then what I'll do to tighten that, these are tightened on at 17 foot-pounds. 17 foot-pounds with my torque wrench. You're not going to get any directions with this thing, so make sure you don't take it all apart when you cut those ties off of here, because that's how it's put together. And then you put it on piece by piece. Tighten it up by hand first, as tight as you can get it. Okay, before it starts to turn. Then take that wrench. I'm using a 1/2-inch wrench. Put it on there, onto the nut like that. And then you're going to take your hammer and you give it a couple strike. Boom. You strike it there. It's going to turn, tighten. And I give it 2 strikes. The same way you do when you put on your clutch. Give it another strike. Bang. And it's good. When you hit it, it's going to turn. The whole thing is going to turn, but strike it fast and strike it true. Pop. Okay? And then that's going to be tight enough. It should be. Then you got to tighten this as well. What the heck? She done got, look at this loony cat. Get down from there, Claw. Hey. Get down. I set my torque wrench here to 13 foot-pounds. And I'm using a 5/16. Yeah, you know what it is, I'm telling you. It's a 5/16 inch socket. I put that baby on there, and I torque that down to 13 foot-pounds. Only 13 because you don't want to go too tight, because there's a clip. I don't know if you can see that on the back of there. That clip right there. Okay? And you don't want to break that clip. You don't want to bend it. So too much torque would do that. So I went 13 foot-pounds on that and 17 foot-pounds on the bolts that hold the plate on there. I put lock washers on it. It's a locking nut. This is a lock nut. So you don't have to worry about putting a lock washer on there once you install that. I always say bolt. I get bolt mixed up with nut, and nut mixed up with screw, and screw mixed up with whatever. Okay, but this is a lock nut. Okay, I'll be taking this whole thing out after I get some gas and oil in here. Gas in here and oil in the engine. And then I'll be updating you on mounting it on the frame after I clear out the other parts. Okay, see you later.